Hello and welcome. My name is Kiana Rush. Welcome to the Tree of Joy. Today we have the Thevalakara family show their Indian culture with us and how they celebrate Christmas. Thank you guys so much for coming today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Would you guys like to introduce yourself for the viewers at home?
Sure. My name is Sony Thevalakara. I'm a teacher. I teach high school students history.
And my name is Alfie, and I am a stay-at-home mom. We have 3 children. This is our oldest, George. He's 6 years old. We have Anna. She's 3 years old, sleeping at the moment. And we have our youngest, Mary. She's 6 months old.
Oh, that's so sweet. Now, George, when you think of Christmas, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Do you think about presents? Do you think about the tree? Do you think about Jesus in the manger? What do you think of?
Christmas tree and presents.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, Sony, what was one of your favorite Christmas memories?
So growing up, my family was from India initially, and they immigrated to America back in the 1970s. And so growing up, my Christmases were all spent here in America. I remember very vividly how we would come together as a family. We would set up the tree, we would decorate the house, put the lights on outside. But more so than that, a lot of my memories of Christmas really come from the church and the community at the church. I remember very early on being involved in altar service and stuff. We're Eastern Catholics, so we're from the Syro Malabar Rite. And in our culture, in our tradition, caroling is a big thing. So we would go to different people's houses and we would sing carols, basically celebrating the life of Jesus and the importance that he has in our lives and the joy that the season brings for everything that we are. And this really made an impact in my life. I did that for many years throughout my adolescent years and even into college and beyond. On top of that, of course, being an altar server, I can remember staying up many nights and the night before Christmas Eve and staying at church and helping to decorate and setting everything up from the crib to the aisles to the books to the candles to the altar and everything. It really was very memorable. And so these are the things that I remember about Christmas.
That sounds very memorable, and I would remember that too. What about you, Alfie, since you were born and raised in India?
So for me, coming from India, our traditions, things were a little different from what we see here. One of my fondest memories when I think about my childhood is my brother. He's actually 13 years older than me. So he would actually cut off a branch from a big tree because we don't have the Christmas tree that we see here. So he would bring that home and we would decorate it with, balloons were like one of the main, we didn't have ornaments back then. So that was one of the biggest things. So we would blow up many balloons and we will hang them. We'll hang the cards on the Christmas tree, lights, of course. And one other thing we had was, nowadays we see the nativities that we buy from the store. But my brother and all the little ones, we're 5 children, so we all would get together and we would, get the twigs and the hay from the store. We'll get all that and we'll really make a big nativity, scene right outside the house. It could be big, some years small. So that was something something that I looked forward to every year. And Christmas Mass, so there, midnight Mass is what we go for, at 12 in the night. So we would walk to the church in the night and looking at the stars. It used to be, so beautiful and it's not cold. So in the warm weather, so we would go. And one of the best part was, I remember we used to have, the priest would have a little fire place outside the church, and he would take baby Jesus and we would all go outside the church, in the middle of the Mass, and we would have the baby Jesus get warmed up in that fire. He would walk around, and that's something that, it's still in my heart, seeing baby Jesus, even though it's a statue, it's still so beautiful. Imagining as a little kid how he was, warmed up in that fire. And my dad would read the Christmas passage, the Christmas Eve, going through the whole Mary traveling and, baby being born and all that. So those were always there in my memory, even now, thinking back.
Now, the star is a very important symbol in our Catholic faith because that's what led them to Bethlehem. Did you guys do anything with the star in particular in India?
Yes, so that's actually more than the Christmas tree. Star used to be the bigger sign that we would put up. So we would get these big stars and we would put it right outside the house with the light inside. And every night, just like how we turn on the Christmas lights, we will turn the star on. And the star symbolizes, the star is what guided the wise men to Jesus. So the star to us means like each one of us are like that star who guides, everyone around us to Christ. And especially in this season of Advent, leading everyone around us, our own family members, to Christ. So that's what star symbolized, in our.
Oh, that sounds very nice and neat, and how you incorporate that still. Do you guys still incorporate that today and with your children?
We have the star up on the on the Christmas tree, and here we don't find that same thing here, right? So, but back in India, still people do the exact same thing. Yeah, they put up the stars. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Now, how do you guys prepare for Christmas?
One of the things that we like to do is, especially with the kids, there are a lot of things that Alfie has found to help them prepare. There are stories and stuff that she can find online to show them, videos to prepare them and to show what the importance of the season is. There are also activities that she does with Jesse trees and that kind of thing. On top of that, of course, we have all of our other preparations. We've set up the lights. George was with me when we went outside to set up the lights. He helped, all the kids helped with setting up the Christmas tree. We set up the crib, and every year when we set up the crib, we always go through the story of the crib, the story of the nativity, and going through each person's part and everything like that, and just moving forward and celebrating like that, preparing our hearts for the coming of the Lord.
Alfie, how did you prepare for the Christmas season back in India?
So for Christmas, we start our preparation from actually December 1st all the way to the 25th, leading up to Christmas. So the 25 days, one of the main things that we as the tradition, and I think even here it happens the same way, that we make some sacrifices and give up things that we like. So that's something that we always did, give up whatever is our favorite, like sweets or or meat, anything of that quality that we really keep so close to our heart, we give up during that time. And then as we lead up to that last week of Christmas, after the midnight mass and everything, we come back home. And most of the times, nobody wants to go back to sleep because everyone is in that excitement of being together. And most of the times we'll have the whole family together. If any of our brothers or sisters are away, we all come together. Sometimes grandparents are there. So it could be much bigger, families, aunts, uncles, and we all come together. And we will, in the morning, one of the biggest things is we come together around the dining table, have a big meal. So we'll have our traditional like appam, which is like the bread here, but made of rice powder. And we have the chicken curry and, duck curry. And that was, one of the biggest enjoyable time that we had, during Christmas.
What about today? What do you guys bake for Christmas, for your Christmas dinner?
So Christmas dinner or lunch, it's pretty much the same thing. We try to keep that tradition going here too. We of course cut the cake, for the birthday. In India too, we come together and it's like the birthday cake for Jesus. We sing happy birthday to Jesus. The children come together, and yeah, other than that, of course, we have the passing of the gifts, which of course comes from the American tradition, I think. So we pass our gifts.
So this past year in the Catholic faith, we practiced the Year of Mercy. How have you incorporated mercy into the Christmas season?
I think one of the things that we like to do, this Year of Mercy has been an amazing experience for all of us. and being able to understand more about what mercy is and being able to really put mercy into our lives. Especially this Christmas season, we've been trying to be more merciful towards each other, towards our children. A lot of times with the hustle and bustle of the season, we get lost in everything that we have to do. But to just sit back and be a little bit more patient and be more forgiving with these guys. At the same time, of course, being able to spend more time in the things that the Lord really wants us to do. So even say for today, we had a teens outreach where we went out to the west side of Chicago to the Missionaries of Charity shelter. And we had a Christmas program there for the ladies that live at the shelter with them and their children. And it was an amazing experience. And so more so than taking for us and buying gifts and all these kinds of things, but to give back, not just for the ladies who were there at the shelter, but to our teenagers who are in part of our ministry and to those who don't know fully yet the Lord, to be able to spend time and more time and try to help give them an opportunity to know more about Jesus, to know about the joy of the season.
Me as a mother, I think my main mercy comes in raising children and being at home.
Well, that's another great way too. Now, what is one hope that you have for the viewers at home during this Christmas season?
One hope that especially I have is to just truly see this time as a celebration of hope. Jesus, who came to this world so that we would not be in darkness, has come or is coming. His birth, we're about to celebrate his birth. And because of his birth, we have life. Because of his birth, we have hope. That's really the message that I would love to share with everybody, that there is a hope in the air, that when we're listening to Christmas music or when we're putting up the lights or when we're driving around the neighborhood and seeing all these things and the beauty that is around us, there is a hope that we have because Jesus is coming. His birth he's about to be born, and he's more so than that, he's about to be born in our lives again.
That's so true, because sometimes we commercialize it so much that we forget the simpler meaning that we have.
Right.
Yeah. And what about you, Elsie?
I think life sometimes brings a lot of pain and suffering, which we don't often expect in our lives. We want it to be always good and happy, and especially as Christians, we think everything is going to be okay. But a lot of times it doesn't go the same way. I think especially as we prepare for Christmas and we are in this beautiful season of Advent, really Jesus' birth and his coming reminds me that, it's clinging on to him and holding on to that faith that we have in him is what helps us to move on through this life in that joy and peace he brings. Otherwise we fall, if he's not there. So he is our biggest, strength when we are weak.
What is one wish that you have for this Christmas season? And, when there's so much negativity in our world, what is one wish you have for everyone else, using one word and then explaining upon it?
I would say joy. Like you said, there are a lot of things that are going on in our world today that might put a damper on how people look at the world. But one thing that I truly believe about this season, I know every time that I come home and every time we have the Christmas lights on and every time we have Christmas music playing, the one feeling that I feel is joy. That there is something amazing about this time. This is a time of joy. That Jesus is coming.
That's true. And what about you, Alfie?
The word that comes to my mind is peace. Being peaceful during this time, especially with everything that's going on, around the world, with a lot of chaos and all these, painful stuff that's happening around the world. Just the Jesus' birth and this season brings that word peace into my mind. Everyone, who is viewing this and watching us around the world in whatever situation they are can experience that peace that Christ brings into our lives.
Do you guys have any traditional Indian songs that you guys would sing when you guys went caroling?
Yes, one song that we have is a song called Paidalam Yeshua. It's one that we would go and sing at all the houses that we would go to in our community.
And the meaning of this song is when baby Jesus is in the manger, that we're going and giving him lots of kisses and hugs and waking him up, basically.
That was such a pretty song. Thank you guys so much for sharing that with us. Would you guys like to wish our viewers at home at Shalom World a Merry Christmas?
എല്ലാവർക്കും ക്രിസ്മസ് ആശംസകൾ.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.